whatever. Thank you for checking out the Pinfall Wrap-Up. I'm your host, Andrew Caracci, alongside
Robert Roth.
And Rob, what do we have in store tonight?
All right, tonight we have our review of the January 11th edition of Monday Night Raw. Along with that, we have Kevin's Corner featuring Justin and some professional wrestling-related topics.
We also have Jared here today, filling in for Day, or actually more of a...
Replacing or...
More like replacing now,
Replacing
I think.
Day,
yeah. Jared, thank you for checking out the Pinfall Wrap-Up. No, I'm kidding. Welcome aboard.
Glad to be back. It's always fun to be here. Always fun.
And for the people who haven't found our podcast, or the people that are looking to find our podcast, pretty much what other forms of medium besides media? Is it media? Is that the right
Media.
Medium. Where else can they find us besides, obviously, how they found us?
All right, so we can be found on Apple Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, all by searching Pinfall Wrap-Up. And then if you want to contact us, you can contact us at pinfallwrapup@gmail.com. And please feel free to leave comments on YouTube. We're always looking for ways to improve the show and love hearing feedback. So please share your feedback.
The YouTube channel is through MaddDog2001. It's my personal YouTube channel from back in like 2006. Also, we have Justin here, Justin Knapp. Justin, back in the stat corner. And tell us some numbers.
Well, our numbers for this week, Andrew, we had 19 downloads and 16 plays last week. Way down from there, 13 this week and 6 plays.
But what do we have on YouTube?
Our YouTube channel is, last time I looked, which was as of yesterday, was over 60 views.
So that is phenomenal.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. The first day I uploaded it, I think it had to have been some kind of glitch, because honestly, I can't see 60 people clicking on that. That's being modest, I guess. I don't know. But it was like at 48 after like an hour. So I don't know what, that was just weird.
Yeah, that's incredible. But I mean, when you figure YouTube is worldwide, and I mean, everyone goes on YouTube.
Correct.
Everyone. I mean, regardless of if you have Android, Apple, whatever, just a computer, anything, everyone is on YouTube. So
what YouTube really needs to do is actually bring in like some type of, like, you know how you can play your video on your app of your phone, but be able to close YouTube and have the video still playing, like a podcast. Or get some type of podcast thing for YouTube. That's a nice thing for them to branch out. I think they have like a thing called YouTube Red or something like that, where you can do that, but I think you have to pay like $10 a month or something like that. But if they did something where you can close your app and like do other stuff and have it playing in the background, I think that's
you can kind of do that on Android, sort of, because you can have multiple apps.
But if you go into another app, say if you want to you want to play fucking Candy Crush while you're listening to the Pinfall Wrap-Up, and for whatever reason you didn't know we were on Podomatic.com, cheap plug. But the fact is that you're not going to be able to if you do it through YouTube. So that's why you download us on the Podomatic app or iTunes if you have an whatever. So
iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch.
And we are looking to find another medium on Android. I know that we were looking at a Stitcher. I don't know if that's even still a possibility.
Yeah, Stitcher is such a pain.
Is it?
It's so weird. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Just getting a podcast up on Apple is a pain in the ass enough, but once you get it going, it's fine. But, yeah, Stitcher is strange. Very strange. So that might be a little bit. But, I mean, still, the Podomatic app isn't terrible. I just don't feel like we get the exposure that we would get on something else.
I feel like Podomatic is their app. I don't know if you ever like listened to like anything else besides ours, because why would you? But the app itself, you hit pause, it doesn't work half the time. If you leave the app and come back, you lose your progress. If you close the app, or like Stitcher, if you close it and come back,
it stays where you were. Same thing on Apple.
Right,
so.
And I think if Podomatic did that, I think it would be a step in the right direction.
Yeah,
so.
the part I like about it is we can integrate our podcasts on like Facebook or Twitter or anything from like doing it on Podomatic.
Right.
So, but I know we can do that with iTunes too. That we could link it, but It's easy because they have that player then, so it's like right in the like your Facebook timeline or whatever. So I don't know. We'll figure something out though.
Right. So we're looking to expand in any ways we can do. Another thing is because I guess YouTube got rid of their 15-minute rule, so now we could post up to as long as you want, as long I think as you monetize it with ads or some bullshit like that. But so like we might have like reactionary things maybe after pay-per-views where we just maybe have like a 30-minute roundtable discussion of what we thought of the pay-per-view, and that won't even be part of the podcast. So that'll be something that if you guys want to just more be focused on what we do on YouTube, there will be more content on that coming soon. Probably after the Rumble is going to be something that I think that might be an idea we can do depending on what's going on that night. It won't affect the Pinfall wrap-up show itself. We'll still cover everything that... So if you're checking us out on Pinfall Wrap-Up or on iTunes, we're not going to just like not cover the Rumble because we did something on YouTube. That's
makes sense. Yep.
So with that, this is our 20th episode of the Pinfall Wrap-Up. 20 episodes. We've made it. We've made it big time. Patrick?
Yay.
I mean, you started as just a listener, and now here you are.
So Patrick, tell us your story of how you ended up on the show and how much begging did you have to do to get here?
Well, I mean, he literally had to do things to me that we won't discuss until the Warzone hour of this show.
Yeah. Well, you told me that you did a wrestling podcast, and I was like, hey, I watch wrestling. I want to hear your input on it. And I thought you and Rob were 100% correct on everything. So I'm like, hey, can I get on the show? And at first you're like, no, you're too much of a fanboy. I can't get you on the show. Then you put Day Day, who I knew previously, didn't know you knew, on here, and I was extremely upset. So I kissed a lot of ass to get on this show.
Yeah, and we tried going like through other co-hosts and stuff like that, try to mix it up a little bit. We used Marcus Van Buren for the 2 weeks that Rob was gone. I thought for someone that hasn't watched wrestling in a year or for like 5 years or whatever, I thought he filled in pretty well there. Jared's come time and time. Jared?
Yeah, always willing to help whenever the schedule permits.
The only thing is, and I got nothing for that. So yeah, we are 20 episodes in, and this was this kind of started, and it's funny, the Pinfall Wrap-Up, how we started. Originally, it started off as a YouTube exclusive, like just a web show, where myself and Marlo Estrada did, who, for whatever reason, just always no-showed our podcast, just completely no-showed it. He was supposed to be in the very first episode with Rob and I, and it was supposed to be mine and his show, and then Rob's like, I'll do it, and I'm like, perfect. So we decided just to go on with it. Marlo didn't show, of course, and we just did a 2-man podcast for I want to say about 4 episodes before we brought Day Day on.
I think it was the first 3 or 4 that we did on our own, and
then we brought Day Day on, and Day Day probably won't be on too many shows because of his work schedule now. So there's going to be some job openings for this third seat. Jared, it's pretty much yours to lose at this point. So we'll just put it there. Anyways, there was a show tonight, a Monday Night Raw. I just love ESPN right now, and I really should put the phone on silent, but I don't feel like it. Because it's like way over there. So there was a show on Monday night, and Raw kicked off at, for us, unfortunately, kicked off at 8:30 because of the extreme cold weather. No. My DVR didn't record the first hour and a half of Monday Night Raw. So as far as input of what we thought happened, we can't really do a whole lot except for maybe kind of run down what happened, I guess, because that's all we had was to read.
Very bottom.
We couldn't find anything on YouTube or any site to really see a video of any of it. So we're just please bear with us with this. So anyways, the show opens up with Stephanie McMahon and Vince McMahon. I guess they're talking about one versus all, and then Reigns comes out and says he's going to win.
Pretty much, yeah. What are you going to do when I win? I heard that part actually before I was here to watch Raw with you. But yeah, I mean, it seemed like a pretty standard Vince, Stephanie, like kind of the authority-ish promo that they always throw out there. Reigns, or I'm gonna win. Okay, whatever. So.
I think the question I have is with the Royal Rumble coming up, and it sounds like Lesnar's in it. They introduced something kind of interesting when I turned it on, and if Roman Reigns were to, or whoever wins the Rumble would face Lesnar at WrestleMania, meaning Lesnar was going to be like the main event, so you wouldn't have to do a Rumble. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. Mixed feelings on that one, really. I mean, honestly, what would be your dream scenario coming out of the Rumble? If you had the... I'm so mixed on like how I feel like things should go right now that
I mean, my personal opinion, I don't want Reigns in the main event. That's just my personal opinion. Obviously, it's going to happen. As far as who he should face in the main event at WrestleMania, I predicted it was going to be Lesnar. It sounds like it's probably going to be Lesnar. I don't want to see Reigns Lesnar again.
No. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. Would they have him double main event it? Would they like put Reigns in there, have him like win the title or something, and then have Lesnar fight the winner? Like, how would they... I'm just curious how they would do it. Like, how would they...
Well, it would mean Reigns, if they're going to do it that way, Reigns is going to win the Rumble.
Yeah.
The way I look at it. Or there's going to be some bullshit and he's going to win the title at Fastlane. Because everyone forgets there's a pay-per-view in between.
Yeah.
Another thing I thought is you have Triple H win the Rumble. And you do Triple H versus Reigns at Fastlane. Reigns gets his title back. Then you go forward with Reigns versus Lesnar. But I feel like they kind of brought Lesnar back too soon.
Yeah, burned through one of his appearances.
Because he didn't really... I mean, the ending was kind of cool. I guess we can go over that with him coming out and pretty much destroying all the heels. Looked like Sheamus was the only one who got any kind of offense in whatsoever. But, I don't know.
Yeah, I was actually surprised after the main event of it how like strong they made Sheamus look. Like, Sheamus held his own. Like, Lesnar pretty much went through everyone else in the ring, and then Sheamus actually was the first one to like put up a defense. So,
can you see Sheamus winning the Rumble?
No.
I wouldn't mind it, but it's not going to happen. I think at this point, if Reigns doesn't win the Rumble, which if he does win the Rumble, it's just going to be bullshit. I mean, you can't put a guy in number one because I think they're going to put him in one overall, right?
Was that Big Show?
They're really backing away from that. Big Show died. The Wyatt family killed him last week.
Yeah.
So he's dead, even though Ryback was on Raw. But we'll get to that. So, I don't know. I think Reigns wins the Rumble, maybe. I mean, maybe not. I mean, I imagine
2 years in a row, huh?
Well, I thought about Lesnar winning the Rumble because I think he's going to be in it. But, again, that means there's going to be no title defense at Fastlane, which is, I know it's your throwaway pay-per-view, but it is a pay-per-view. You need something to headline that.
Headline it with an intercontinental title match with Dean Ambrose, everyone's favorite champion.
Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler. Why not? We can do that again.
Yeah, start it with a 10-minute rest home.
So, Jared, who's winning the Rumble?
After all that, listening to all that, I really don't know. Like, I really don't know what to put for in there because, like you said, that I don't like any of that. I just don't. I mean, I don't see any clear winner, like that kind of thing. I don't know.
Who do you want to win? How about that?
I mean, the way they had Sheamus look pretty strong towards the end, I would like to see Sheamus win. But like Roth said, I don't see it happening. But I would like Sheamus to win.
It would be really interesting if that were the case. But they're not going to go that route. I mean, considering Sheamus was just kind of their intermediary champion, anyway, it's not going to be a thing.
Do you have any other person that you would have in mind?
I think I said last week on the podcast that I could foresee it being someone that we're just not expecting whatsoever. Be that Daniel Bryan even. Like, it could be anything at this point. Like, have Jericho win it. You never know. My thing is, it could be I think it's going to be someone we're not expecting. And I think that whole championship stipulation is going to be gone. Somehow that's going to not be a factor in the Royal Rumble itself.
You said that last week that they were going to back away from it.
I feel they're going to back away from it.
But they didn't this week.
They did. They doubled down, but they're going to hold its credibility. I mean, how would that look? You go your Monday Night Raw, at the very end of it, you throw that out there. And then, okay, it's sinking in, and then very next week, beginning of Raw.
You could say the board of directors stepped in and said it was unfair.
There are a lot of ways that you could get out of that. I mean, it's probably going to happen.
Because Randy Orton's done with his movie.
Yeah, it's probably...
He's still hurt. He's still hurt, yeah. That would be terrible. Orton winning the Rumble? I mean...
Yeah, it would be, but, you know...
I think your surprise guy is Triple H.
That would be... I could see that. No one sees it. No, that's something that no one would expect.
Right, you could have him come out at number 30.
Yeah, have him be like, oh, I'm the boss. I'm going to come in number 30, and then I'm going to win.
Yep. He comes in as man diaper and all and eliminates Roman Reigns.
Well, and the thing is, I could see it being Reigns is like... the last one in there, or one of the last ones in there, it's Reigns and someone else, and then Triple H comes out. And that's how he would win it. Because Triple H is like, all right, no one else could get it done. I'm going to get it done. And he comes out there and he does it. That's very likely.
So it's like you're at 29, say everyone's eliminated, and then he's number 30?
Yep.
A fresh Triple H versus a destroyed Roman Reigns?
I would like to see Triple H use a spear on him. just to rub it in.
I can't imagine Triple H doing wrestling moves. I imagine it's just going to be kind of a distraction or something. He throws him over. I would like to see a Triple H beatdown because I think he needs one right now. I think he needs to beat him down or something. Like he beat down Daniel Bryan 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of interesting ways they can go with this. Another thing is, could they go... I mean, would they go the crazy route and have Vince McMahon win the Rumble?
No, again. No.
Since they're totally doubling down on Roman Reigns as the next Stone Cold right now, could they really... you think that might be an option? Or is Triple H like the Vince McMahon? Is he going to step in as the Vince?
Yeah, I think that would be more along the lines of what they're going to do.
Because where would you go with Vince McMahon winning the Rumble and stuff?
Well, they do exactly what they did last time. They just have someone else defend the title for him. Like when he won the Rumble, he put his Rumble spot on the line against Austin in a steel cage at the in between pay-per-view, the St. Valentine's Massacre, whatever they called it, and then Austin went to WrestleMania and wrestled The Rock. They did something kind of similar when Vince won the WWF title on SmackDown, and I don't remember how he dropped it. I think he vacated it, right? After he won the title?
Yeah, he vacated it. I don't remember what the reasons behind it were or what that was about, but yeah, he vacated it.
He said it because he wasn't going to defend it. So they had him vacated. I think they did like a 6-pack challenge for the belt, and then Triple H got it back. Of course. So I mean, there's ways you could do it. I mean, I'm sure he could get into the ring and eliminate him. I mean, he could just push him over the top ropes. So other guys that can win the Rumble. What about a surprise entry? Someone we're just not expecting. Someone who's not even on the roster.
Goldberg. Yay. I'm kidding. I don't want to see that.
Patrick?
My picks are still either Jericho or Triple H, so...
Oh, Jericho's not winning.
AJ Styles?
Be interesting. Some people are picking that. I just can't see him winning the Rumble.
I don't think they'll finalize it that soon.
They're gonna throw him through NXT, all of them.
It's such a waste. Mm-hmm. It's good for NXT.
Especially as old as AJ Styles is right now.
Right.
He's what, 38, 39?
Is he that old?
He's up there, yeah.
He's like 36. Isn't he like Cena's age?
Well, maybe. I thought he was... Because he was in WCW.
Yeah, really, really young.
Yeah, he was really, really young, but he was still there.
Right, at the very end of it.
Because he was like 23 or 24 when he was in WCW.
Was he?
So that would have been maybe a little younger, but still, that's 15 years ago at this point.
I'm sure he's somewhere in that range.
If
38.
He's 38,
He's
okay.
38? Okay.
So yeah, Cena's age. Exactly, yeah.
It's interesting. Like, who could they have win the Rumble? Obviously, with Cena's injury, which we'll get to that later, it's not going to be him. Will they go Bray Wyatt? Something different. Bray Wyatt, who has a little bit of chemistry with Roman Reigns in matches that lasted like a year.
I don't think they're no.
I think they're done with that.
He's just never going to get the belt.
Yeah, I just think he's done overall.
Could they go? I'm just trying to think of like maybe a heel that could use that push. They didn't give Owens the IC title. Could they have him
I can
win
see
the
Owens
Rumble
getting it. Sure, why not?
as a transitional champion?
They'd probably have him hold it longer than Sheamus. I don't think he would accept dropping it right away like Sheamus. Sheamus knew what his role is, and he's comfortable with his role in the company. Kevin Owens, I don't know. I think he wouldn't be a transitional champion.
Well, because he'd have to drop it at Fastlane to Reigns, right? You're going to have Kevin Owens main event WrestleMania this early?
Maybe.
I think it would be awesome, but who's the opponent? Reigns?
Mm-hmm. At that point, yeah, it would be Reigns.
Then who does Lesnar face?
Who cares?
Undertaker?
Because whoever Lesnar faces, I mean, Lesnar's the draw of that one, regardless. Lesnar's going to be what draws people to that match. Doesn't matter who he's facing. If he's fighting a formidable foe, that's better, but it doesn't matter. People just want to see Brock Lesnar kill someone. So
maybe if they progress with the Stardust role.
Yeah, Stardust.
Give him back to Cody Rhodes. He makes a good Rumble appearance. That's what I mean. I would choose that.
Are you?
What?
Cody Rhodes.
Heck yeah.
Well, it's not going to be Cody Rhodes. I will stake my life on that.
Throwing it out there.
I might as well say Sandow at that point.
Yeah, what about Damian Sandow? Where is he been, huh?
Yeah. The last thing about the Royal Rumble that I would like to see happen, and it's not going to happen this year, but I'd like to see someone completely random win it one year. Someone that's either down on the card, a complete newbie like Rusev that one year when he debuted. Something that we just wouldn't see come, because the Royal Rumble is supposed to be random where anyone could win it, but yet it's always the main eventer who wins it.
Right.
Or an upper main eventer. I want to see someone that's comes in at number 29, maybe a Goldust, not him, but someone younger than Goldust.
Tyler Breeze.
Something like that could win a Rumble. I mean, you could take away his spot because they did it with Austin in '97, but I mean something different.
Yeah, I mean, if they had the Bullet Club debut at the Royal Rumble, that would be interesting. If they even brought him up as a Bullet Club, I mean, that would. But then again, you have a whole group of people that aren't going to know who the hell they are and what impact would that actually have. That's
okay, because they did it with the Shield. It worked for the Shield. Nobody knew who those guys were when they came up.
I guess.
I mean, more people are going to know the Bullet Club than the Shield than people knew the Shield.
True. Very true.
They did it with Nexus too. Even though Nexus was a little bit more, people knew Nexus a little bit more because they were actually on TV. But I mean, I could see them going that route too. Bullet Club would be kind of interesting because maybe you get a Bullet Club Wyatt feud, they kind of do a standoff in the ring. Be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think what'll happen is there's going to be a time where all four Wyatts are going to be in the ring. And, similar to how Punk did it one year where he would eliminate a guy and then he would just get the microphone and just talk about being, sobriety or how he was better than everyone else. The next guy would come down, he'd throw him out of the ring and then talk again. I want to see something like that, in this Rumble. I want to see, even if it's Wyatt. Wyatt could talk about, the stars or some weird shit about, his lesbian...
Whatever it is he talks about.
His lesbian sister coming out of the woods and sucking his dick and whatever.
Whoa!
Sorry. something to that nature. Maybe not to that exact nature, but something crazy. Or he's talking about how swamp people ate his family. Or
swamp people ate his family. I like it.
Or, it just talks about that, and that's why he is the way he is. And then someone would come down, and then the Wyatt family just beats him up while he's still talking. That'd be kind of cool. And then eventually that would lead to the Bullet... Or John Cena comes out and eliminates them all. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
No, probably.
No,
with one arm.
It would lead to a Bullet Club maybe coming down. Maybe a member comes down, like Finn Balor. Because wasn't he part of them or something in Ring of Honor or something?
Yeah, he was their leader.
Right. He comes out first. More people know who Finn Balor is. He doesn't leave the ring. He doesn't go into the ring. He just waits the 2 minutes, or they can cut it to a minute because nobody counts really. And then another member comes down, and then the big surprise, AJ Styles, and then they come down to the ring. Something like that. That'd be something kind of cool.
Yeah.
There. And you could do a Bullet Club Wyatt feud because the Wyatts need someone to feud with, and they can't be feuding with the Dudleys forever.
That's right.
Is that a thing?
It was. For
Yep.
like 5 minutes.
Do you see Sami Zayn coming back?
I think he might make a Rumble appearance.
Maybe that's the
He's
surprise
back already. He's back.
Maybe that's the surprise right there.
Ugh. Nobody. I don't think anyone gives a shit about Sami Zayn.
I do.
Not anymore. Winning the Rumble. You want to put him. You want to give him a belt right now. The world title.
I like him.
Rob.
Tyler Breeze would have a better shot, so would Stardust. I'll leave it there. Cesaro has a good chance.
Yeah, all right.
The internet wrestling community, unfortunately, isn't going to book the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. So Cesaro probably won't be on either one, either
Right.
pay-per-views. Cody Rhodes, probably not. Oh, he'll be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal if they do that again, I'm sure.
Are you talking about a community that I was a part of? I wasn't really a part of it. I just pretended like I was. But you're talking about that same community?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care. So-
I don't know. What is the internet wrestling community?
Well, so in 2006 when YouTube became... Well, you had your websites and that kind of stuff, like NoDQ.com and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
but
you had a... YouTube was kind of had a boom. And in 2006 you had big YouTubers that came out that would just talk about pro wrestling. Guys like Monoxide, which is a big one, True Slayer, PS Powers, and MB Wrestler 87, who's now a pro wrestler himself. So, and I think Monoxide is too. I'm not sure, but these were guys that were real passionate about it, and they would. True Slayer was a guy that was in his 30s, an older guy. You had Monoxide, who's a couple years younger than us, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think he's more Jared's age, and they would just get out, and for whatever reason, they just got hits after hits after hits. And True Slayer was like the first one to come out and like say how everyone hated Cena, and he was like the first one to come out and defend Cena, that it wasn't Cena, it was Triple H. And he made a whole video about why Triple H burying guys. And I think that was like a big thing because he was a huge name on YouTube. And because of that Triple H video, I think a lot of people just started saying the same exact thing, me included. I didn't really know any better. I was just getting part of that community. I would watch the videos and stuff. So I think that's where the IWC kind of started, and that's what it was. And then you had guys that kind of branched off of it. Mm-hmm. And then it just, like, after Google bought YouTube, it just got rid of like almost everyone that wasn't making money. So the big names like, Slayer and Monoxide, they were still around for a little bit, but the rest of them were gone.
Yeah, I know what the internet wrestling community is, but like their opinions, that's I actually didn't know the starts of it like that though, but like the opinions vary so much because I feel like there's two huge segments of it now. The people that are anti-internet wrestling community,
correct,
internet wrestling community, and then the hardcore IWC that just, your Cesaro, I just want to see good wrestling backers, where they don't give a fuck about like the story whatsoever.
And I'm not sure where I really fall anymore. I think I'm more of like, I kind of hate the IWC more than I like them because I feel like they shit on absolutely everything. There can't be like anything that's good, even if it's good. Like when they got Daniel Bryan, as their champion. This is the guys that they wanted. I didn't really care about it. It was whatever. I was happy because it was somebody different, but they gave him the title, and then they immediately bitched, "Oh, his title run sucks. They're making him look bad." All that type of shit. They just got the title.
Yep.
He's got the title. Did the same thing with Seth Rollins.
Oh, Vince Russo point, by the way. Word for word.
That's awesome.
Second week in a row. Boom. You didn't watch... It's great, because I'm watching all these... Like, I've been watching Vince Russo's podcast that he does through Wrestling Inc. It's fantastic. I think it's called Nuclear Heat. And, like, I watch these. I know Andrew here hasn't watched as many. He said he started to watch one of them. But, like, I hear the exact same points from you, and I have felt this way anyway, but then Vince Russo says it, and then you say it on top of it, and it's just interesting. I'm hearing the same thing.
I feel like the IWC has, like, their moments where, like, you know, maybe in 2006 to 2007, yeah, I was part of that. You know, I was a younger fan, and, you know, I'm trying to think who was, like, the big names that I really want. Like, I wanted Mr. Kennedy as champion. I wanted Carlito as champion. I was, like, one of those guys because I was a fan of those guys. But they would completely... I don't know if you ever heard of Bill and Doug. I think they're, like, the originators. And RVD Tito for Life, I think, was their YouTube name. They were, like, the first ones, actually. And then because I think they were friends with True Slayer... You had the thing with him, and that's what spawned him. And they used to always go after Bill and Doug because they were like, "Fuck WWE, support TNA" kind of thing. That was like their thing because they were actually getting paid by TNA for a while.
Oh, really?
They actually had their own web series through TNA, and then they decided to not TNA, but Bill and Doug decided to stop it because they were being fed lines of what they wanted them to say. They didn't want to do it anymore. Because originally they were supposed to be just them talking about TNA, about how great it is, and reviewing shows. And they did like one show where they kind of bashed a pay-per-view, which is I think 2007's Hard Justice, which is like the worst TNA pay-per-view of all time. It's one where Kurt Angle won all the belts.
Nice.
In like the most ridiculous fashion. He won every single belt that TNA had, including the tag titles. Except for the women's. I don't think he had that. But he had... And Karen Angle turned heel and aligned back with Kurt Angle. It was weird. It was dumb. Because they were doing like a fake fight, and then they went back together and screwed Samoa Joe out of the title. So, and fans were pissed. Because fans really loved, actually IWC really loved Samoa Joe and really loved AJ Styles. It's funny because you look back at that day, you look back at that time. And I know you say you didn't really watch too much TNA. No,
not so much. Well, I never really watched TNA, and then in that time I wasn't really watching WWE either.
Right. And I wasn't watching WWE during that time. I was watching TNA because I just thought it was a better product at the time. But the thing that always drove me crazy was in like 2008 when the company was in like its 5th year, 6th year, so it's kind of established at this point, they got Mick Foley. And Mick Foley cuts a promo and he's like, this show is about guys like AJ Styles, guys like Samoa Joe. But that's it. Those are the only names, and you hear it. Go back and watch any TNA promo of like guys defending the young guys, even though those guys aren't young, but defending those guys, and it's always AJ Styles and it's always Samoa Joe. They never mention like the Motor City Machine Guns. They never mention whatever young Shark Boy, whoever. They don't mention like those guys or Christopher Daniels, who's been there since day one. They don't mention any of those guys, but you know, they always mention AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. I want to know other names. And it's funny that those guys are probably one's already in WWE and the other one's probably going to be in it soon.
It's sad though the one isn't really being utilized well by WWE at all.
Right.
But yeah.
But there's so to that point, I think that's where the IWC really started because a lot of IWC guys were like big-time TNA guys because they wanted something different. And I supported that at that time because I loved pro wrestling, but I hated what WWE was becoming. I absolutely despised John Cena on top. I was like one of those guys. And I was kind of a John Cena hater before it was popular to hate him. I didn't like him at all during going up against JBL. And it had nothing, at that time, had nothing to do with his wrestling. Because I didn't really, at 2004, I didn't really know what a good wrestler was or what a bad wrestler was as far as, like, working a match. All I knew was, like, I didn't like him because I didn't like his character. Or, because you still try to go with that illusion that it's still kind of real. So you just didn't like the character. And, after the IWC and guys like Truslayer would break down matches and tell you, like, how to work a match and that kind of stuff, and how some of those guys actually went into pro wrestling. And the guy who did the channel MB Wrestle 87 is actually having a very solid run in the independents right now too. He's wrestling in California and kind of working his way towards here.
Okay.
He's a bigger, I think. What's the wrestling name? If you can look it up, Patrick. What is his wrestling name? Something McCoy. Last name McCoy. I want to say.
Where am I looking?
Just Google it. Come on.
Google it.
Just type in MB Wrestler fucking 87, and I'm sure it'll show up. Anyways, he had a shit ton of subscribers. He's going to be on Google. So, with that said, I think we totally got away from Raw like we always do.
I mean, considering we missed the first hour and a half,
so that's fine. This is our first hour. We talked about other stuff that didn't involve Raw. And so, Royal Rumble, we'll just go final thoughts on that. Who's winning it, Rob? Your prediction?
Oh, man. I like the Triple H theory.
Triple H?
I'll go with... Fuck it, I'll go with Triple H.
If Lesnar's... I'm going Triple H, too. I think Lesnar's going to get eliminated if he's in it. I think whoever eliminates Lesnar is going to be facing Lesnar at Mania.
Yeah, I think they're dead.
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens has been kind of talking about it, too. In, like, different interviews and stuff, so...
Nothing?
Find his name, no.
Okay. Well... Jared?
Yeah, I mean, out of all the people, I would definitely choose Triple H. For sure, that'd be kind of fun to see.
Triple H. Yeah, I think that's kind of like what my prediction is. Yeah, I got him winning. I think he's going to come back. I think he has to at this point. It doesn't make any sense for him to be out as long as he's been out. Patrick.
I said it once, I'll say it again. Either Chris Jericho or Triple H.
Okay. Well, let's go on final thoughts here. So, we're going to skip ahead.
Got it. I like it.
So, we'll skip a little ahead here. Let's talk about John Cena. No boos, nothing? No boo!
John Cena sucks. No.
No. John Cena's going to be out 6 to 9 months. How do you feel about that, Jared?
I didn't what was his injury?
Shoulder
Rotator cuff?
Yeah.
No more shoulder blocks for him.
They said he's most likely missing WrestleMania.
Well, let's remember, 6 to 9 months for an average person. He'll be back in 2. He'll be there for Mania. He'll be fine. That's John Cena.
I think he even said he's probably missing.
No,
Mania.
that's going to be a bad one. Probably SummerSlam, though. He should be back at the same time. Oh, poor Seth Rollins. Cena will be coming back at the same time.
Come back as a tag team.
Oh, God.
Wouldn't that be great? They could go for the tag titles.
I mean, if they're going with a face Rollins coming back, they can come back as, like, the world's best friends or something. And they just, like, bury the fuck out of everyone. Whole tag division. It's in a month. Destroyed.
I think if Cena does come back, especially if he comes back same time as Seth Rollins, they should actually come back at the same show on Raw at the same time.
That would be ridiculous.
And you have Cena come down introducing like, I'm back, I'm here to stay, and also my friend that I've been trained. They could show like montages of them working out together to U2's "Beautiful Day" with Triple H jerking off in the corner.
It's a beautiful day.
They could show that kind of stuff, and then they come down and you have John Cena introduce Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins talks and says, "Yeah, I'd like to thank my good buddy John for helping me through all this, and I would like to apologize for all the stuff I did," and then just kick John Cena in the gut and hit him with the pedigree and do the same, similar with the
I hope he doesn't come back with the pedigree.
Well, whatever, whatever his move.
I know. That was just a side thought. I really hope he doesn't come back with the pedigree. Like, seriously.
But he comes back because you got to have a heel and you got to have a face, and there's your SummerSlam match. Because they could come back like 3 weeks before SummerSlam or 4 weeks. They don't have to wrestle; they just do the thing, and then you could have Cena got actually re-injured or something like that, and Rollins could play on the fact like, yeah, I beat you before. I'm the first ever WWE United States champion, and you could have Cena, saying, "No, I had the United States Championship and never got a true rematch." And I don't know where that's going to go from there, but something to that nature where that could be your feud at SummerSlam, and then it'd be done. And Rollins goes his separate ways as the face towards the title, and Cena just goes to get his U.S. title back.
It's his title. That's his belt.
It's his fucking belt.
That's like his blankie, I like it. His U.S. title.
His Bosky.
He doesn't have to really worry about like people complaining that he has the belt for too long because people liked him with that belt. So he can hold on to it for fucking years. Longer than Ambrose had it. Like, he'd have it for like 8 years. Just sit there with it. Fuck it. The Cena title. The Legends title.
I mean, what does this mean for Rob? What does this mean for WrestleMania with Cena? Because him not being there, that's huge. Because he's a huge draw.
Yeah. That's definitely concerning. I mean, they're gonna probably want to get Orton. I know Orton's injured, but is it bad enough to the point they couldn't get him back before Mania?
And do what? Orton's not the draw he used to be.
They could make him the draw. He could be.
I guess.
He's only 35 years old. Let's keep that in mind. 35 or 36.
Yeah, but he has like no charisma. He doesn't have the charisma that
They
Cena has.
gotta light a fire under his ass.
Right.
He
just doesn't give a shit.
Give that man some fucking money or something. Give him more money. I don't know. Make him get something out
Take
of him.
more of it away.
Take more of it away, and then, well, I mean, look at isn't that something they did to Mason Crosby?
I don't know.
Isn't that essentially what they did to him? They like cut his fucking pay, and then 35?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's 35. But anyway, they like cut his pay, and then made it like performance based. Like, okay, you start doing fucking better, and then we'll pay you what we paid you before. But until then, here you go. And he fucking performed, and he got his pay, and everything's good. But yeah, that would be. I mean, I think he makes like what, $900,000 a year or something under his new contract. Cut the fucker back. Come to 5. Still a lot of money. Tell him if he's a draw. Well, fuck it. If he can sell merch, yeah, here's the rest.
I think this is a huge blow to WWE with Cena obviously being gone.
Well, yeah. I mean, Seth Rollins wasn't really as much of a draw per se, but they could use someone like him.
Right. And as far as you could have done a lot with Cena. We were talking about 2 weeks ago, turning him heel. As much as we all want to see that happen, I thought this was an opportunity where you could have done it because Reigns being pushed as your big baby face. If anyone's going to get Reigns over, I mean, as far as being like the next top guy, why not have the guy who was the top guy and not as a baby face? Put him over in a way where you're actually putting him over, rather than them hugging at the end of the match, like when Rock did it with Cena. It felt so forced and so lame. Or when Rock tried to get Reigns over last year, it just didn't work. Philly booed this shit out of The Rock and booed this shit out of Reigns.
Yeah.
Another thing, does Rock come back at the Rumble and win it?
I think the audience would start throwing garbage at the ring at that point.
Really?
Who the fuck wants to see that? People tolerate The Rock at this point.
I think so. I think I'm with you on that.
Everyone tolerates The Rock. Yes, he gets a reaction when his music hits or whatever, but I think he's more tolerated than he is liked and wanted at this point. I mean, if you want to see The Rock, go to the fucking movie theater any week in the year. Like, you're seeing him. Turn on a fucking TV. He has a show on every channel at this point. Like, people get enough of The Rock. It's not like this guy is in seclusion or something and, like fucking Bret Hart who lives in a cave somewhere. Like, he's everywhere. Everywhere. He's Under Armour. He's sponsoring this, there, People are tired of The Rock. In general. I think wrestling fans are very sick of The Rock. Especially if you're like a wrestling fan.
I agree with that because I get sick of him coming back. Like, I remember last year.
I'm never leaving.
Last year's Mania was a big point when Rock came out and we were all here watching it, and you immediately said, "Who gives a fuck?" It was because he came out and they did the Ronda Rousey thing or whatever. Like, it was a whatever. It was totally whatever. Like, who... I mean, unless you're going to do... I mean, I might be interested for Rock Triple H, because that'd be kind of cool, just because, you know...
Yeah, I would like to see that, and that would have a place. Like, that would make sense. And they teased that for, like... I think they teased
couple of
that...
years.
They teased it at Mania, of course, but then there was like a random fucking
SmackDown.
SmackDown or something at The Rock's show. Ugh. That says it all, huh? SmackDown is The Rock's show. Anyway, they teased it there in a pretty decent promo. But yeah, I don't know. That would make it worthwhile, but
Yeah, I think the serious fans just don't care about The Rock being in like wrestling. Like the younger fans probably would.
I don't know. Do the younger fans really know The Rock? Or they just know The Rock? That's the guy who played Cena.
They know The Rock from his movies.
G.I. Joe and
right, but then they know him as the wrestler
No.
The Rock.
No, that's why the younger fans are going to like it, but the more serious older fans are going to be like,
no.
same,
This is lame.
same stuff.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I still appreciate The Rock for what he was, like, to wrestling. I've been going back and watching like older Raws, older pay-per-views, and all that stuff, and I enjoy The Rock yet. Like, when I'm watching that, I'm still a Rock fan. You know, like, I like The Rock. Bring him back now? No.
He looks like a shell of his former self. Like, it's like what P.S. Power says, and I know I've quoted this before. He said that he never wants to see, like, he always said, like, his friends, like, wouldn't it be great to see Austin versus Cena, or, you know, see Bret Hart come back, because, you know, he likes Bret Hart, or Hulk Hogan, like, in his heyday, come and wrestle these guys. And he said, like, he didn't want, like, his heroes. Like, when Shawn Michaels had the back injury, he was like, I didn't want him to come back, because I didn't want him to be associated with the product it was. Like, The Rock is a guy that should have never came back. I mean, he came back to the match with Cena, which was fine, but that should have been it. They should have never done a second one, because they produced it as once in a lifetime. But to see The Rock come back and interact with, like, guys like The Miz and guys like R-Truth, these guys aren't even in his league. And it's insulting because how big he is compared to the wrestlers today. The only one who's
how big he is compared to the company.
Right. There's nobody at his level. The only thing closest is Cena. And he's not even at that level. But Cena's the only wrestler with what's the word I'm looking for? With the prestige,
star presence.
The star presence that could face The Rock. It's not fucking Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns would get owned by The Rock if this was The Rock. Roman Reigns sucks. He has absolutely no charisma, and I honestly don't see what WWE even sees in that. I mean, what's the difference?
He has the look.
What's the difference between him and Baron Corbin?
There is no difference between
I know,
him and
and that's
Corbin.
like the thing. Does that mean Baron Corbin's going to be a huge star in WWE now too?
I'm sure he will be.
Oh my god!
You know it's coming. You know it's going to happen.
So, I guess that's enough on The Rock. But I don't know how we got into The Rock with Cena. But because I brought it up. So I'm going to throw that thing across the room. Sting, Hall of Fame.
Does that mean he's not going to wrestle anymore? Is he done?
He's pretty much done.
Yeah.
Good.
Sting is pretty much fucking done. Like that match with Seth Rollins when he took that buckle bomb hard. Yeah, that did that. So he's pretty much over.
I appreciate the fact that he came back and tried to work a match with Seth Rollins, and it wasn't a bad match. I appreciate that. You know, he didn't have to do that. That wasn't a match they had to do. I mean, it kind of killed his match with The Undertaker, which was rumored to happen. But with Sting going in the Hall of Fame, good move by WWE?
Absolutely, yeah.
Does this open the door for other guys that might have been kind of disgruntled with the company in the past?
Sting never had a bad relationship with the WWE, though.
He never signed. When he left,
him and Vince were always talking. Like, that's come out. Like, there was never an opportunity for it to...
I thought it was Sting said that he would never work for WWE or Vince McMahon because of what they did to all the WCW guys in 2001.
Well, I think he was very pissed off about that because, yeah, they all got put into the fucking wood chipper. But, well, not all of them. Booker T, made something out of it.
Yeah, but he was kind of squashed in the beginning.
Yeah, he was.
The only guys that really survived it was Rob Van Dam. He was during that time he wasn't treated like one of the he didn't get like wood chipped. He was like treated as an up and coming star. He was kind of protected from it for some reason.
To a degree, yeah, I'll agree with that.
Because they gave him a world title later too, and he never was like a jobber like until he came back like recently. But he was never like a jobber.
They put him through hell for like the first 3 weeks after that Survivor Series.
Which one?
The one right after the invasion angle.
No, he was always booked as a top level talent. That's the thing. Like I know that he kind of like got beat up by Kurt Angle and shit, but he wasn't. But he wasn't like buried.
Van Dam was there before the invasion angle, though.
No.
Yeah, he was.
No.
Was he?
No, he was part of it.
I thought he was there before it. Really? Because there were a lot of them that were there before it.
Yeah,
that
like
were brought
Bubba
in.
Ray and stuff.
Yeah, Bubba Ray, Devon.
Rob Van Dam was on the very last night of ECW.
Yeah.
But ECW folded before WCW did.
Correct, but he didn't. He came over in the invasion. I mean, you can look that up, Patrick.
I know it. I just watched it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't with them before they did the invasion.
Okay.
So yeah, I think Sting being in the Hall of Fame, this is good for WWE. Get it out of the way, put him in there right away. I think it's, second year technically with the company?
Yeah. Well, and you kind of look at it like they brought him back. Make him job to Triple H. Oh.
I know.
How shitty is that, huh?
I know.
Make him job to Triple H. And then...
defeat Triple H's ego.
Yeah, and then, okay, then next year, don't worry, we'll put you in the Hall of Fame after we have Seth Rollins kill you. You know, like, it's like, great move coming to WWE, Sting.
We beat you into the Hall of Fame.
We fucking had you job out and then ended your professional wrestling career. Nice.
WWE professional wrestling career.
Yeah, well, I don't think... I thought there was something where, like, some doctor said he should never wrestle again.
Right,
or
but that's
he even said that in
WWE
an interview.
I thought.
Oh, okay. If he wants to. I mean, it's like, what, going to be like 56, 57, somewhere in there? Like, he probably should, like, reconsider anything. He'll end up like Flair. It's like dancing like a fucking...
He's still alive.
94-year-old. Yeah, Flair is still alive. It's true.
And so... with that, we can actually get into the part of the Raw that we saw. We took care of like some of the topics of it. What we got?
He's 56.
56. We took care of some of the topics, and I thought we did pretty good there. But
it's my life in the box in front of me. Take it off in my arms is the soul of me. Walk by, ask to see me lay face down. Your head by the door in your eye.
And you know what that means. It's the war zone. No holds barred. All the jokes that we normally come up with that we tried to hold in for the first hour, Andrew.
wow, so that was a fail job. Jared, Warzone.
Warzone, where anything can happen. Any words, any
Not
racial
any-
slurs,
What? Why are we...
that kind of thing.
Racial slurs, alright.
Why have we ever done a
I
racial
don't
slur on
think
this
so.
show?
No. Why racial slurs?
Why did we always open with
No.
that?
I think I did one once.
Well, how is that? 20 episodes and we've had one racial slur, but all racial slurs go like I don't care.
Swear
That
words,
goes too.
anything goes.
Racial slurs, especially racial slurs. Let's get them all out of the way. Anyone have racial slurs? Nope. That's because we don't use tons of racial slurs on this show. Or any.
I'm amazed at how many times you said racial slurs in 30 seconds.
We've said racial slurs more than we've actually said or used racial slurs. Anyway.
Rob, what is the Warzone?
I don't know. Apparently when we use racial slurs,
Racial slurs.
You said Jared is taking Day-Day's job. That's Day-Day's job. It's like the only thing
The war
he
zone.
fucking does on this show.
The unfiltered
There you go.
version of our show, or part of our show.
We
Not
have a
version.
filter?
Well,
We try.
we try, and this is where we don't try anymore.
Sorry, Justin, I'm nobody's bitch. Bitch.
See, there. Boom. And that wasn't even a racial slur.
Right.
Alright.
I think he's just drunk, so it's okay.
No, I'm good.
So, this kicks us into an 8-man tag match between the Social Outcasts and the Wyatts. Why is this a thing? I like the Social Outcasts, but why are we just throwing them to the Wyatts right now?
Yeah, they should not have been fed to the Wyatts, but then later in the match, it's like apparent that that was just kind of a placeholder until Ryback could come out there and, you know.
We doing Ryback versus Bray again?
Yep.
Why?
We just did
Well,
this.
it looks like Ryback versus the entire Wyatt family at this point, because it doesn't look like it's against any individual from it. So, I don't know.
Ryback's going to start his own stable called the Feed Me More, where he's going to get Mark Henry, The Big Show, himself, and the Great Khali.
And Rikishi.
And they'll dig up the corpse of Rikishi.
I thought it was going to be
New
a family
MAGA?
of steroids. Him, Steiner, Goldberg, and somebody else.
Well, no, because they already beat up the Big Show. So Big Show and Ryback are cool now. Because that's what happens. That's how that's how the real world
If you
works.
get beat up together,
Your
families.
friends.
they're friends.
So
Great.
I try to kick your ass in a bar. Or actually, I am kicking your ass in the bar. And then someone comes over and kicks my ass and then kicks your ass. We're immediately friends. That's how it works in the real world.
No, because you kicked my ass.
Doesn't matter. The
No.
ends justify the means.
Misuse of that line. Ends justify the means. I suppose. Sure. Yes.
So that's what happened here. Any thoughts?
Yeah. Well, so what happened there? Ryback came out. Social Outcasts and the Ryback and the Ryback. I can't believe I said no Ryback. No, I'm not letting that one happen. The Social Outcasts and Ryback
The right back.
teamed up and, I don't know, killed the Wyatts or something. So, yeah.
Alright, I got nothing to add to this. This was whatever. I kind of wrote that the match was thrown out and Ryback is back. Totally no selling his beatdown he took last week.
Cheats.
Here comes kind of the shocker of the night. United States Championship, Sin Cara versus Alberto Del Rio.
Kalisto.
Wrong Sin Cara!
Wow, you really fucked that up.
I am JBL.
Sin Cara's out with an injury right now, so he did not win anything, nor was he competing tonight.
There's your racial slur. There you go.
Yes.
Why are you looking at me? I didn't say it.
They don't know I'm looking at you.
Yeah, they do.
You could be naked. It doesn't matter.
For the record, nobody's naked.
Yet.
You want us to be. But we
Right.
discussed that at the end of last week's podcast, which you can go back and listen to, where we share our theories on Justin's lifestyle choices. Anyway, continuing with our match.
This week, I'm still not gay.
Okay. Sure.
So Sin Cara wins the United States Championship.
Try again.
I don't care.
Kalisto.
Kalisto wins the United States Championship from Roberto Del Rio
On a roll-up.
on a roll-up. So
Legendary.
Sin Cara is your new Kalisto is your new United States champion. How do you feel about this, Jared?
I like it. I like it better than Del Rio.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of like Del Rio right now.
I do too.
I feel like
Now is not the time. He was just picking up steam.
I know.
Why they fucking do this is beyond me.
Because that's how they
There,
do it.
he's picking up steam. He has a title. He's picking up steam.
he was
Why?
kind of bringing like the Prestige was kind of killed because they didn't let him do anything. But the last couple of weeks, they started making the title mean something again. And how Del Rio showed kind of a mean streak. And I like the fact how he cuts his promos in half Spanish and half English. And like how mean he is in his promos. How he says he's going to squash Sin Cara like a bug. Well, he already did that.
He
He's gonna
compared him to a mosquito, or Kalisto to a mosquito.
Well, he probably would squash. He did squash Sin Cara already. But like stuff like that, and they just have him drop the title.
He took credit for John Cena being dead.
Yeah, he said he killed John Cena.
Nice. Pretty much anyone who picks up Steams, they're just gonna squash it, kill it
Immediately.
right away.
And Patrick, our Spanish expert, what did he say?
Wait a second. Don't even call me a Spanish expert.
Don't even. That's what
Oh
he
my
just
goodness.
said. Don't
I
even.
dropped out of Spanish after 2 weeks. I flipped the desk and threw a chair at my teacher.
Don't
sure you
even.
did.
You just started that off with don't even. All right,
And?
cool. Yeah. And? Wow. All right.
What was Kalisto wearing?
Was it matching?
Yeah.
Ooh, you are not sounding straight right now. Anyway.
Like my drive home.
All right.
Pay attention to what he
I caught that.
That's
and
fucking
ignored it.
great.
You might as well repeat it. It's not like it's on recorded or anything. I'm just kidding. So, what did he say?
I don't fucking know.
Why?
Because you were yelling at me about leaving my iPad here during this entire promo.
Because you're supposed to be paying attention.
I
But
was
you're
paying
playing with
attention
your
to it.
fucking iPad.
And he still heard it. And he was talking. You can't listen? Why do you even do this show? If you can't listen to... If you don't care...
What's
if
the
you
name of
care,
the show?
If you care so little about Raw, why do you even partake in this? Why do you breathe? Why are you alive right now?
Because around
Because
20 years ago, my
you can't even
parents
say the
had
word
sex.
because?
Yeah,
Cause. Am I your cousin?
maybe.
I don't know what you are. I don't know what you think you are. You're a waste of space is what you are. Well, is this funny to you?
Yes, it is.
It's why?
It really is.
Why are you smiling?
Because it's funny.
Cuz? You can't say
Yeah.
because again?
Yep.
I'm your cuz?
Yep.
This is disgusting. Let's continue with this, Andrew.
All right. So Kalisto wins the United States Championship.
What the fuck just happened?
He wins the United States Championship. If we were not all in the same room, I would totally just mute you right now. And you don't say anything anyway, so I don't really have to put a mute button.
Just look at him. Boom. Mute.
Yeah, mute. But since we're all in the same room and only using one microphone, we can't do that. Damn, it sucks. So, yeah, I totally agree. Alberto Del Rio not being United States champion, unless this is going to be used for him going forward, but I don't see that happening with the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania coming around. I don't see anything big for him.
Well, we have a good match, though. A good rematch at the Royal Rumble.
Right,
that
maybe
we'll
he gets
see,
it back.
so.
Maybe they just make it look like
That'd
a
be
flip.
interesting. I'm always a fan of like belts flip flopping back and forth, like not constantly, not over 4 months. Like we have 10 title changes because that's how you get a John Cena that's a 16-time champ. But like if they went back and forth maybe 2 times, 3 times, what's wrong with that? It would build legitimacy. So
Jared?
That'd be fun to see. I mean, I think the feud...
See what happens? I actually said his name, and he said words. Even if he doesn't know what he's talking about, he'll at least, attempt to say something. Were you like...
You
I
tried
got
to get me
nothing.
to translate Spanish. You asked him how he felt about a fucking match.
and you said cause.
Yeah, I mean, you
And
could have
that was your response.
said some
One word.
bullshit or something like that.
Cause
None of
seriously?
us really know Spanish. You could have said,
Seriously,
he was
cuz?
talking about the
You
weather.
could have said, Me gucci am la gula la la. It means watermelon. It doesn't matter. No one's going to know, except for Mario.
Mario still listen?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck Mario then. But anyway,
What?
Anyways, Jared.
Yeah, I mean, it would be fun to see again, because I enjoyed the feud between those two. It'd be nice to see again, for sure. I mean, the matches were entertaining. The mic work was better than decent.
Del Rio's been really good on the mic the last couple of weeks, hasn't he?
Hasn't he always, though?
No,
no.
Ooh.
not at all.
I feel like he's especially vicious lately.
Yeah,
Like I said,
like
it is Lucha Underground Del Rio, because when Del Rio went to Lucha Underground, he was completely he came in as a face. he ended his run there as a heel, but he was on point there, and tonight he was good.
I'm disappointed because I really wanted to see a Cena Del Rio feud, just because it was really picking up steam 2 weeks ago. And I know you said you probably haven't seen the promo yet, but I still recommend go back and watch the Del Rio Cena promo. It was awesome. Del Rio kept switching between languages, but it would work. He'd call him a name in Spanish, and the fans aren't even whatting him.
Yeah.
I will take that away from you.
They were tonight. They were giving him the what? They were.
Right, but who gives a shit? Because they're fucking fans. They don't know shit. So, not you listeners. We love you. We love you, so you should give us some money so we can continue to do our podcast.
Because it costs us so much.
It cost me $100 to get multiple shows on the website for a year.
Oh, I was gonna say
not like
a scam.
$100 for one episode. Oh shit, that's such a great deal.
He actually sent $100 off to some supposed prince in Africa to release money from a fund that didn't exist, and now he runs a diamond mine somewhere. These are all a bunch of. He has 7 credit cards and names that aren't his. It's really weird, but. This podcast is going to air, and that's what counts. So Thank you, Andrew.
No problem. That's what I'm here for. Podomatic. I think it's like some kind of weird English site or some type, not an American site.
Really?
Because if you go and look at some of the podcasts, it's written weird. By weird, I mean I didn't actually look.
By weird, I mean I didn't read the words that were written. That is kind of weird.
No, they have a music section and like a podcast section. But I noticed like their number 1 rated podcast hasn't done like a podcast in like a year. So it's like from 2014 or something like that.
Oh, well that's why our rank on there must spike and dip the way it does because we're competing against the
Speaking of rank, where do we rank? Oh, I put us in that category finally.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't know we weren't in one.
Yeah, we weren't in one at all.
Oh.
Another reason why we probably weren't getting views. So where did we rank in our rank there, Patrick?
Well, if you give me 1 second to pull the numbers up.
You got 3 seconds.
Not
3
just
minutes.
1.
So, yeah. This leads us into our Divas match of the contest. Jesus Christ, Andrew. So, Charlotte comes out and she's going to face Brie Bella, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Why not?
I don't know. She's a jobber now, so it doesn't matter. And Becky Lynch comes and jumps her, and it's over. The match gets thrown out. Not really. Charlotte just kind of leaves with drunk Flair.
Yep.
And then Flair kind of babbles a little bit.
No. What was it? Oh, yeah, he called Charles Robinson fat boy.
Yep. Called the ref fat. After he threw his
He's like
jacket.
twice the size of Charles Robinson.
Yeah.
What you gonna do about that fat boy?
Throws his jacket, then tells the ref to go pick up his jacket.
Pick up my sport coat. Yeah. It was actually kind of interesting. Everyone used to call Charles Robinson Baby Flair.
He kind of looks like him a little bit.
Little factoid.
I mean, I kind of thought that Flair said fag boy.
That's what I thought.
I was like, did he just call him fag boy?
That's why I really hope not, but it sounded enough like fat boy.
That's not a racial slur. There's no racial part of it.
Why are you looking at me again?
Nobody knows I'm looking at you.
Now they do. Why are you looking at me again?
Do you think that microphone is a video camera?
No.
Yeah, whatever. No, cuz. Whatever. Well, fuck yourself. On to the next match.
So that leads us into the main event. Roman Reigns 1 versus all.
God, this is me at this table.
There you go.
1 versus all.
No, there you go, little creeble.
1 versus ah.
1 versus ah.
That's all I thought of through the whole
Yeah,
match.
me
Every
too,
time
me
they said
too.
1 versus all.
Me too. So the whole pretty much heel roster's out there, and Vince McMahon says that he's going to. I don't know if it's supposed to be a gauntlet match. It sucks. I didn't see the first part of Raw, so I had no idea what this was. And I think it was supposed to be a gauntlet match, but they just kind of, or it was all of them, but they weren't all in the ring at the same time. No,
Right, they essentially acted. It looked like it was a gauntlet match where the people that would have been next in the gauntlet acted as lumberjacks. So it was like a lumberjack gauntlet match.
Yeah. TNA kind of match.
I was gonna say, yeah.
But so Kevin Owens is the first guy and actually puts together a solid match with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns doesn't really do anything. I mean, he's borderline like recliner.
Oh, he started doing big boots.
Yeah, he did it. Was it really a big boot?
No, but that's what it was supposed to be, so I was giving it that name.
It was more like a kind of a boot. I think Roman Reigns figured out that he can actually punch people with his feet. So
that was the idea actually going off in his mind. I can punch people with my feet.
He's like, he's got a Superman punch. Is he going to have a super kick? Oh wait, that's already a thing, right?
Yeah, that's Dolph Ziggler's move. We all know that.
Right, super kick. Fuck the Young Bucks.
I agree.
Let's go, Young Bucks.
Really? We're gonna finish this, and I'm gonna destroy you for that. Continue.
So yeah, he does like a kick, I guess, and it's kind of like a boot. It's kind of to the face. It was supposed to be. I think he got it almost up to the gut, but Owens sold it like he got kicked in the face because Owens is a champ. And yeah, the roster eventually pretty much came in the ring, and the match was kind of thrown out. There was no bell rung, and then who comes out but Brock Lesnar comes out and destroys everyone, including Reigns. Jared.
Yeah.
I wasn't destroyed. Just
it just.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay, cool. But what's it leading up to?
It's teasing a Reigns Lesnar match, or teasing the fact that Lesnar's going to win the Rumble.
I forgot who made the comment, but they made a comment. Oh no, is he going to be a face now? But then he killed Reigns, so I'm glad.
That was me. I was like, face Lesnar sucks.
Right.
Unless he's facing he needs to be what he is, and that's what he was. And he just went out there and killed everyone because the title's on the line.
Mm-hmm.
It had nothing to do with Reigns, and that's what I liked about it. It was an okay ending to a pretty whatever show.
Yeah.
It made Sheamus look decent. He was the only wrestler that put up a fight against Brock Lesnar. So
I thought they were going to kind of tease an Owens-Lesnar standoff. That would have been kind of cool.
Yeah. And then he got killed.
I think, like I said, Lesnar needs to be eliminated by Owens. I think Owens needs to be taken more seriously as a main competitor if they want it, if he's going to be the rumored guy to face Lesnar. There's no one else on the roster I can see believably facing Lesnar, including Owens. I don't even think that's even believable at this point. But, like I said, who's going to face Lesnar if it's not Reigns?
Based on
they're going to do
match,
Rock again?
Based off that match, would you put Sheamus there?
If booked properly, you could probably do it. But the way how Sheamus is kind of booked, it just... No.
Right.
I would like it. That'd be kind of cool. Sheamus maybe Sheamus eliminates him.
Right, because those two go... I mean, Sheamus always goes hard on every match that he does.
He does. And he can believably beat anyone on the roster. Or beat up anyone. Maybe not win, but beat up anyone on the roster.
It'd be an entertaining match. It wouldn't just be one-sided Lesnar suplexing everyone.
Yeah, it's not one versus all. It's an actual match.
Yeah,
I agree.
That'd be a good match to see. I would enjoy it.
But Sheamus needs to be booked properly, tomorrow. Even though they don't have a show that's on TV tomorrow, I want him he needs to go bro kick some guy at a super center just to show how vicious he is.
Oh,
I'm mad. Felony assault.
Right. They show something he's in a grocery store and he's just bro kicking people in the grocery store. And full wrestling gear.
One of the best segments of all time was in a grocery store.
Austin and Booker T. That was ridiculous.
I loved it.
I loved every minute of it. I was cheering for Booker. I'm like, come on, Booker!
Yeah, he was getting fucking killed.
I know. And then he threw him in that cooler. I'm like, oh, he's going to get away. And Austin comes out with the milk. And he's like, got milk, book? Just starts bashing with the milk cartons. And puts them on the stupid cart and rolls them down the aisle. Singing That's Amore.
yeah.
And he rolls them up at the register. Just fucking...
Price check on a jackass.
Right. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he improv that whole thing.
Which was amazing.
Because that's Austin.
But... for what it's worth, The Rock did the exact same thing before that in the I Quit match with Mick Foley in the empty arena.
Right.
Like, he pretty much was just talking shit the entire time, beating the fuck out of Mick Foley. Just the entire... You saw it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where did you find that? Did you watch it on YouTube?
No, I found it on the network.
It's on the network. The empty arena match?
I believe so.
There's 2 I Quit matches between The Rock and Mick Foley.
Yeah.
There's one that was part of a pay-per-view. I forget which
Royal
pay-per-view.
Rumble.
It was Royal Rumble. So there's one that was part
That
of
was
a
the really,
pay-per-view.
really bloody one.
And then they had another one
On
where
Sunday Night
it was the Super Bowl halftime show,
on Sunday Night Heat.
Sunday Night Heat, and they did an empty arena match, and I Quit match, and The Rock it was most of the match was backstage. Like Mr. Sacco ended up in the oven at one point, and The Rock was narrating Mr. Sacco. Oh no, don't put me in here, please! Like you sitting there and burn your piece of monkey crap, and
I miss that Rock so
it was
much.
like he was narrating the entire fucking thing. Like it was amazing. It was pretty much the Booker T Stone Cold scene, but longer and in an empty arena. So I recommend. It's probably not on the network because they don't have any Sunday Night Heat on the network. So try to look that one up on YouTube.
Will do.
It was great. I've not actually seen the Sunday Night Heat thing. I've seen like clips and stuff of it, but I haven't seen it entirely. So it's something that I definitely will go back and watch. Yeah, I miss that Rock.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Anyways, Lesnar kills everyone. I think this kind of tells you that he's not going to win the Rumble because they made it look so obvious. And WWE doesn't like to throw it in front of you like, hey, here's a piece of candy. Now eat it, fuckers!
Like how they did Roman Reigns last year? Oh. Never mind. He's gonna win it. Like it or not. Here.
Reigns or Lesnar?
That's how they did Reigns the year before. Like,
yeah, but they booked it like he wasn't going to, even though you knew he was.
Out there, and then they were like, here, have The Rock as a chaser. And it's like, it still tastes like shit, though. Because it was shit.
But I think with that concludes our Monday Night Raw edition of the Pinfall Wrap-Up. Overall, as a show, like I said, I only got to see about an hour and a half of it, so I thought it was whatever.
Mediocre.
Very mediocre. A couple of things before we kick it off to Kevin. Our Pinfall Wrap-Up draft that we're going to do, and I think we're all on board for it, just to try it, see what works with it. As far as like how long the season's going to go, I don't know, maybe... that part I haven't figured out yet. Next week I'll share like what our point system is going to be, and obviously we're going to do our draft, the show after the Rumble. So that would be in February because the Rumble's on the 24th, our show is on the 25th, and then the show after that because the Rumble show is probably going to be a long show, and we're not going to be able to fit a draft in there too. As far as how many picks, I think we might go 10 or 7.
Okay.
And we'll include probably NXT in it.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
NXT, we're not going to include SmackDown matches, though, I don't think. Unless Kevin's going to do the scoring for us. Because I'm not watching every fucking SmackDown. I can't handle it.
Well, I barely watch SmackDown. I just catch like the replay of it.
Yeah, I think we should just cancel out SmackDown.
Okay, just go Monday Night Raw exclusively and then NXT. TNA.
I mean, any
up,
for what it's worth, any worthwhile matches on SmackDown end up getting replayed on Raw anyway. So, and then any match that worked on Raw ends up being a tag match on SmackDown. It's pretty much their formula. Like, if they had 2 matches that worked on Raw, like, oh, we're going to smash these fuckers together as a tag match on SmackDown.
We'll have bonuses for, like, title defenses, bonuses for title wins, first-time title wins, like, career-wise, Royal Rumble winner, even though we're not going to have that included in our thing, Money in the Bank winner. There's going to be, like, bonuses. I used to do this, like, back when I was in high school. We used to do, like, a little draft for, like, 4 of us. So it works. Just need to watch the shows.
Yeah, NXT. I'm gonna have to add NXT to my weekly watching, which I've been wanting to do for so long anyway. So it'll just give me the incentive.
And with that, we are pretty close to kicking it over to Kevin for Kevin's Corner.
Whenever life gets you down, keeps you wearing a frown, and the gravy train has left you behind. And when you're all out of hope, down at the end of your rope, and nobody's there to throw you a line. If you ever get so low that you don't know which way to go, come on and take a walk in my shoes. Never worry about a thing, got the world on a string, 'cause I've got the cure for all of my blues. I take a look at my enormous penis, and my troubles start melting away. I take a look at my enormous penis, and the happy times are coming to stay. I gotta sing and I dance when I glance in my pants, and the feeling's like a sunshiny day. I take a look at my enormous penis, and everything is going my way.
And Kevin, over to you.
Thank you, Andrew. And we're going to take Kevin's Corner in a different direction this week. NXT did another Best of the Year show, Part 2, which was awful, again. So, I decided to change it up, and I went back to the WWE Vault and found today in WWE history, January 11th. And I found Raw is War 1999 from Houston, Texas. The show opens with DX introducing Mankind, and that's all they do.
Was that when he was champion?
This was the week after he won the championship off The Rock. This is the night of the corporate Royal Rumble.
Yeah, let's go corporate.
Okay. But yeah, so Mick gets in the ring and explains that he took an ass beating to win the championship.
He did.
Basically. And then Vince, Shane, and The Rock come out and tell him that he's a disgrace to the championship. Look at you, you fat piece of shit. Wow. I just can't believe they just bluntly straight up said it.
Did The Rock come out with them, or did he come out later?
Just with them.
Okay.
He led them out.
I remember that. I remember that promo. Doesn't he say something to the lines that that they try to get him to agree to a match at the Rumble?
Yeah.
And Mick Foley says something, and The Rock just says, "I already said that, you fat piece of shit," or something like that. I remember that promo.
Just keeps tearing into him, even though he took his belt. Whatever. But yeah, so then Shane announces the corporate Royal Rumble, and the winner becomes the 30th entrant in the 1999 Royal Rumble.
I'm trying to think who got the 30th entrant that year.
Well, we'll cover that later on in the show.
I'm just trying to remember. I don't know who it was. I want to say X-Pac, but go ahead.
Okay, but this leads to our first contest, where Billy Gunn and Road Dogg face Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett.
That's impossible. Owen Hart's dead.
He died.
Oh yeah,
This is history.
He died in, I want to say June.
yeah. Which pay-per-view was it?
Over the Edge.
Literally.
Yes, it was. Wasn't it now?
That was
title.
the last time that WWE ever had a pay-per-view called Over the Edge.
That was also
That was the third year in a row.
coincidentally the
someone
last
said-
time he took a breath.
That should have been Brett up there. Just saying. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Both of them.
Yeah.
I'm not a nugget.
Well, this match ended with Deborah, who was at ringside for Jeff Jarrett at the time.
Oh yeah, I remember those days.
And she distracts, I believe it's Road Dogg, who takes a spinning heel kick from Owen Hart and picks up the pinfall.
What did you think of that?
I thought it was a good match up until the distraction.
Good analysis. Fucking with you. Go ahead.
But interesting enough, you brought this up during Raw as a joke. The next match is Gilbert versus Luna Vachon.
I remember Gilbert.
What the fuck is this?
Okay, so Gilbert was a gimmick to mock Goldberg.
Obviously.
They had him dress up as Goldberg because Goldberg was huge in WCW at the time.
Right.
So they had him do stuff, and he would go and do a spear, but he would like get hit in the face, and he would get counted out right away. It was most of the time, guys would even do their finishers on him. They would do like one of those like shots to the head where they'd hold their like left hand on their head and just punch him in the face, and they knock him out and pin him, and he would get 3 counted every time. He was a complete joke.
But legitimately, in my notes, I said, what the fuck was this? Luna wins on a flying headbutt?
Yeah.
Did they give Gilbert his full entrance?
Yes.
When he came out with the fire extinguishers and shit?
Oh, no, he came out led by cops this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which, that was Goldberg's cheesy gimmick.
Whatever.
Right,
It was
right.
ridiculous. But after the match, a fan jumps in the ring and attacks Luna. And I don't know if this is who it was, but it looked like Miss Jackie.
You mean Jacqueline?
No, Miss Jackie, like the blonde. Not Jacqueline. the
No, it
woman.
wasn't Miss Jackie all the way back then.
I figured, but it looked just like her.
Who? Who was out there?
Luna Vachon.
No, what was it? Was just
It was that match, and then after the match, after she scored the pinfall, the fan jumped up. It was whoever the fan supporting Sable was at the time. Who ended up...
I'm drawing a huge blank on whoever the fuck Miss Jackie is.
Remember the one that was with Lance Storm back in like 2004?
No.
The one that was like Charlie Haas's fiance.
All the divas are interchangeable. It doesn't really fucking
I don't
matter.
remember Miss Jackie at all. I remember Miss Kitty.
Yeah.
She was the
Charity
tag team
King.
partner with Stacy at the...
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, this leads us to a Val Venus promo.
Yeah, my boy.
Yeah, so he ends up doing his little towel striptease and then sees a woman at ringside and starts flirting with her.
Yes.
Woman ends up being Ken Shamrock's sister.
Oh, shit. You know what's so funny about this? I just watched the Val Venus and Ken Shamrock's sister's sex tape that he posted, like, I think 2 weeks after this.
Yeah.
He was like, hello, ladies. He called it, like, the Val Venus...
I don't
this
remember.
new sex addiction thing, but it was her in the shower, and Val Venus just took his towel off and walked in there and being like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
But
Let's go, Val Venus.
So as soon as he goes to kiss her, Shamrock flies down the ring and beats the shit out of him.
Classic.
But
That'll get it done.
then Billy Gunn comes out and Shamrock flees back up the ring or up the ramp, and then proceeds to moon his sister. And then Shamrock comes back, and then the Boss Man comes out, and they kick the crap out of Billy Gunn.
Go Big Boss Man. That's my guy.
And then Shamrock challenges Gunn to an Intercontinental Championship match at the Royal Rumble.
Who was Intercontinental Champion?
I don't know. I didn't see a belt the entire night.
So who challenged who?
Shamrock challenged him, but I think Shamrock had the championship.
Yeah, Shamrock was the champion around that point.
I believe
He
so.
was champion in 98.
Yeah, he was.
The end of, like...
The very end of 98.
This is also the second Raw of 99.
Oh, wait, no. I don't think he was champion in late 99.
No,
Second
not-
Raw of 99?
Second Raw of 99.
Oh, yeah, it would have been January
So-
99. Yeah, he was still champ.
He was champ. But, whatever. I mean, I thought it was
When
a
did
fun
Jeff
exchange.
Jarrett get the belt? It was after Owen died, right? Because he
think
beat
so.
the Godfather for it or something.
It was
like that.
not long before he left.
Yeah.
He, had the belt and then left.
Yeah, because he had to drop it to China.
Which was towards the... Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Which
that would be the time.
was one of my all-time favorite feuds, by the way.
It was amazing.
It was an amazing... That Jeff Jarrett feud was amazing.
Right.
A woman needs to know her place.
He came out once, smacked China over the head with a pan, and then put her in a dress and said, this is... Or a house dress, and said, this is what a woman's supposed to be. And had a pan in one hand while she was on the ground, and, like... It was ridiculous.
Awesome.
An ironing board once.
Although the Jericho China one was pretty good.
Yeah.
But, Runner up.
I like the Jarrett. I like the Jarrett one because he was just beating up every woman that was on TV. He beat up like a movie star too and put her in the figure four.
Yeah.
And he like threw. He threw like. I don't know, it was ridiculous. Go ahead.
So this leads to our third match of the night, which is X-Pac versus Al Snow for the European Championship.
That is a European Championship match.
Of course.
I've ever heard one. Holy shit. European hardcore. Wow.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was really back and forth. It was like a 7-minute match. It was better than anything we have on TV now.
Yeah, now it would have been a 14-minute match.
Yeah. So X-Pac hits the X Factor to retain his championship. Whatever. This leads us to a... You awake? This leads us to a
Sherlock?
WWF Championship match between Kane and Mankind.
WWF Championship?
Yeah.
Oh, Kane. I don't know why. I thought you said X-Pac.
Kane and Mankind.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Mick Foley never got out of the gates in this match, and then finally got to put Mr. Sock on and got tombstoned, and then on the 2 count, The Rock broke up the pin. So, that was interesting. But, yeah, so The Rock flees the ring, Stone Cold comes out and stuns Mankind and Kane, and just says, "Fuck you, Rock." That's that.
What's the logic there?
Uh-huh.
Stone Cold just comes out and he stuns him because he's pissed, so he just is hurting people.
This was like
that's not very nice.
Was like
This is what he did.
This was like the night he returned from. Was he injured or something? This was his. Like they were trying to hype it up the entire night. Stone Cold's here. Stone Cold's here. He came out, stunned them both.
Injured from.
I have no idea.
This was.
I
way
think he
before
got
the
hit.
Car crash.
I think that's from when he got an attack from the Undertaker.
Okay.
Yeah, he got attacked. The Undertaker interfered in some fucking match. I believe. Wait, where am I here? Yeah, The Rock and Stone Cold were having a WWF Championship match on a Raw. Undertaker came out, interfered, beat the shit out of Stone Cold with a shovel, left the ring, and then Stone Cold passed out 2 nights later at a house show. So he was out with an injury.
Oh.
Yeah, so that must have been his first one back.
But yeah, I mean, it was a good match. It would have been interesting to see Kane just pick up the title, but it would have just
not happening. Nope.
Kane was a main event jobber.
He was a main event jobber at that time.
But yeah, so it leads into the next match, which is Triple H with Chyna versus Edge.
Okay.
This match sucked. Triple H wins on a pedigree, and then gets attacked by the Brood.
Christian and Gangrel.
All 3 of them.
Edge is part of them. He got back up.
Yeah,
okay.
Got pedigreed, and then the lights went out and started flickering, and then DX was at ringside, and then
who got attacked by the Brood?
Triple H. DX just kind of ended up at ringside in the dark while the red lights were flashing, and then Road Dogg was covered in blood.
Oh yeah, these do those bloodbaths. They were doing a corporation versus Ministry of Darkness feud too at the time, and they were still part of Ministry of Darkness. I don't think they were kicked out until after that Mania.
Which leads to, I would say, the coolest / creepiest promo I've ever seen in my life. The birth of Midian.
Oh, God. I remember Midian.
He's a chef now.
Good transition.
But yeah, so...
What kind of food does he make? Have you eaten at his restaurant?
No.
Was he naked?
No.
But yeah, so The Undertaker cuts some bullshit promo about it and then starts speaking in tongues, then cuts his wrist and pours his blood into a chalice.
This Undertaker.
Pours his blood into, what was his name? Dallas something? I don't remember his last name. Midian's initial name. Whatever.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
But yeah,
Straight jobber.
Pours the blood in his mouth and then opens his shirt and cuts the sign of the Undertaker with a dagger in his chest.
Jesus Christ.
I was like,
Straight satanic right,
right.
there. It's awesome.
I was like, this is creepy, scary, but I want to see it every week on TV.
There's a promo with when Undertaker and Big Show were together when they're the Unholy Alliance, and Undertaker said he's like, I took Big Show out to the desert, and I cut off his legs, and I left him there with nothing. What he did was he grabbed a snake. He bit the snake, ate it for food to survive the night. Then he killed a bear and used the bear's skin as fur, and then crawled out of the desert.
It's a weird ass desert.
It's like,
how's that explained?
Why is there a bear
I don't
in
know
the
if
desert?
I don't think he cut his legs off, obviously, but I don't know what he said. Something to that nature. It's actually a promo that I probably will look up again. I love that one.
But anyway, how could you possibly follow this satanic promo? Exactly, with D'Lo Brown.
Fuck yeah, let's go, D'Lo.
D'Lo sucks. Great chant. It's true.
He does kind of suck.
D'Lo Brown accompanied to the ring by PMS, Terry and Jacqueline.
Yep.
Oh, fun. And this is after D'Lo Brown doesn't intentionally, but scares Terry into falling off the steps and kills her baby.
That's awesome.
And says the only favor Terry wants one favor, and that's for him to fight Mark Henry. So he comes out to his what was his name?
Who?
Mark Henry's
Sexual chocolate.
sexual chocolate.
Fuck
to his,
yeah.
to that theme.
Sexual chocolate.
They had the big Hershey's bar thing.
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the intro.
It's sexual,
chocolate.
baby. Oh!
Yeah. But yeah, he gets to the ring and
Bring
neither
it
of them
on,
want to
dude.
fight, so Mark Henry
Right
tries
on.
to leave.
Hey!
You gotta look at me the whole time you're saying all that.
It's getting sexual, baby.
But Mark Henry gets in the ring, then tries to leave, and then Terry pushes D'Lo into Mark Henry, and then they kind of brawl, and then Terry low blows Mark Henry, and then Chyna and her friend Sammy come out and make the save on Mark Henry, and it's just a clusterfuck of bullshit.
Hey!
Have you gotten to the point in all of your classic wrestling watching where Mark Henry has to talk about his sex addiction?
No.
That wasn't that,
I
wasn't
loved
that
it.
before Sexual Chocolate? Was it after?
He was still with D'Lo Brown. Maybe it was before. I don't know.
He talked about I couldn't stop. I was
Yeah, he
Sit
even
on my-
talked about banging his sister and stuff. It was awesome. It went really far. It was dark. It was really dark.
That is God.
It's like banging my
awful.
sister, and she's only 17. It's
Fuck.
it was so weird. The whole promo was weird.
Yeah, it was.
Speaking of which, I got the Undertaker Big Show promo. Can I play it before you continue, just so we can get that? Because I was talking about that.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I'm gonna play it. Hopefully, I don't get a fucking ad. I got a fucking ad. Go ahead. It's a 4-minute fucking ad.
Yeah, you can skip after 10 seconds.
News to him.
I was watching these
You got
all
the
my
ad?
life.
Or you passed the ad? You gonna play
Got it.
Okay.
Paul said we're going to need 2 bikes for a ride into the desert. The guy said, Brother Paul, now we know the dead man can handle it, but I don't know about the Big Show. It's August, it's 120 degrees in the middle of Death Valley. He says the only thing that survives in Death Valley are the cold-blooded, the snakes and the lizards. Paul said that's all right. And in one of those bikes that you're setting up for us, I want the Big Show only to have enough gas to get to the middle of the desert and not get back. What? So we're on our way. We get to the middle of Death Valley, 120 degrees. The Big Show's bike runs out of gas, and I pull up next to him and I ask him this question. It's 120 degrees. How are you going to survive? He looks me straight in the eyes. Without a hesitation, he says, I'm going to wait till you go to sleep. I'm going to stab you in the back. I'm going to cut your flesh off, make a coat out of it, and I will eat your flesh until I find food. Ugh. I said, good answer, big man, but I don't sleep. And I drove off and left him. I waited on the outskirts of the desert. 2 days later, he comes walking out with a snake necktie and lizard boots, carrying his Harley Davidson on his shoulder.
He's big enough.
So
It just sounds like he's starting to do a joke. It sounds like a joke. It sounds like
So that his bike would...
what the fuck is that promo?
walks out with a snake tie, lizard skin boots, and his Harley on his shoulder.
Why is he carrying the fucking bike?
Because it's a Harley. You know who likes Harleys? Commander Scott.
Oh my god,
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So, no, we're keeping that out of the podcast, please. So yeah, that was that.
What an interesting promo. I love it.
I'm gonna wait till you fall asleep, cut your flesh off, use it as a coat, and then eat you until I find another source.
A little cannibalism, alright. Nothing wrong with that.
I feel like I would try to find another source of food before I did all of that. Like, that would be my step
I'm
one.
gonna wait till you fall asleep. That's like 6
hours.
hours.
I might stab you in the back or something, but then I'm gonna go like search for another like source of food, and I'm gonna keep you on standby.
Eating the Undertaker's plan B.
Yeah, like then if I have to eat you, then that's great. But damn, wow, that was
Big
awesome.
man has to eat. So I just thought I'd share that because that was like one of my. That was like I remember watching that. And I was just like, oh, what?
That's fucking great.
Go ahead, Patrick.
Well, that leads to back to 1999. Leads us to the Corporate Royal Rumble, which starts with Ken Shamrock and Billy Gunn. This is by far the dumbest fucking way to start a match ever. As Billy Gunn comes out, before he gets into the ring, the bell rings and Ken Shamrock jumps over the top rope to do a crossbody to Billy Gunn and eliminates himself. And then beats the shit out of Billy Gunn.
He probably didn't even know it was a Rumble match.
Ken Shamrock didn't give a fuck.
He really didn't.
But yeah, the Boss Man came out and they had a 2-on-1 assault for a while, and then Shamrock finally left.
Ken Shamrock, by the way, another guy who thinks he should be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
That's an interesting factoid. He's kind of... It's not really a factoid. But isn't he kind of the first one to really make the transition from, like, UFC / Pride or whatever to the WWE?
Yeah, he was trying to be a pro wrestler, though, before he went to UFC. He couldn't cut it as a pro wrestler, so he went to UFC. And then he became a thing, and then he came back.
Yeah, I kind of remember him in, like, 90... remember seeing him in like 96. He came out. His debut. He came out of the crowd and like fought somebody.
Huh.
Like nobody knew who he was, and then he was gone, and then came back and around this time, like late 98.
Interesting. Huh.
So yeah, that would explain his absence.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Boss Man's out 1-on-1 with Billy Gunn, and then Test is the next one to come in.
Are we doing the whole Rumble?
I'm running through it quickly.
Okay.
And then X-Pac comes out, and then Billy Gunn gets eliminated. And Triple H comes out, eliminates Test. Boss Man eliminates X-Pac. Triple H eliminates the Boss Man. And then Vince comes out.
Yeah. He was, Is this the actual Royal Rumble pay-per-view?
No, this would be the Corporate Royal Rumble. That
Oh,
happened at the end of the Raw.
Corporate Rumble.
Sorry, I have not been listening
Well, you
at all.
You tried to get. Well, you were trying to guess
Sounds like a
who won
Divas match.
this Rumble to see who the 30th
I
entrant
totally
was.
forgot that was
at the
even a
beginning.
thing before you started talking.
But yeah,
But
and then
Bath and break.
yeah, it's what it sounded like. But then Vince eliminates Triple H and thinks he's won. And then the shocker of them all, Chyna came out and eliminated Vince, and she's the 30th entrant in the Royal Rumble.
That's who it was.
But do you remember who won this Royal Rumble?
Vince.
This would be Vince's Rumble.
Of course it was. It's pretty much Austin won it because he ended up main eventing WrestleMania anyways, but yeah.
And that concludes today in wrestling history.
all right.
Hooray for that exciting exquisite activity of greatness.
I like the Undertaker promo. I'm gonna listen to that when I get home. That was awesome.
Find like a. It's like I think it's 9 minutes or something. Like
it's super fucking long.
And I think Jericho comes out in it too.
Sweet.
During this one?
I think so. What?
Not during that one.
Which one?
The one that we're talking about now, or that one? I don't know which Undertaker promo he's talking about.
He's talking about the Big Show one.
The one, the one that he just
They were
played.
talking about the human sacrifice one.
That wasn't really a promo. That was kind of a backstage segment.
Or
a segment.
It was a segment.
Or a satanic murder.
Right.
Cutting symbols.
The murder and rebirth of somebody.
Yeah, good. Good for them. At least they got reborn.
I wonder if that motorcycle that Big Show was carrying even still works.
I wonder if that can get inducted in the Hall of Fame.
I wonder what kind of strength you have to carry a motorcycle like 120 miles out of the desert.
In 126 degrees.
He probably pushed it and then saw Undertaker and then I'm going to carry it now. Badass.
And was he in ring gear this whole time? I think this is like important stuff to know.
Maybe he wore jeans.
Okay. So, I guess with that pretty much concludes our this 20th edition of the Pinfall Wrap-Up.
All right.
Kevin, you got anything to add? Of course not. So, I am your host, Andrew Caracci, alongside
Robert Roth.
And
Jared LeHouillier.
And fine, don't fucking talk.
Maybe he wears jeans.
Maybe he wears jeans.
Make sure to comment.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Please comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know what we can improve on.
Say
Let us
hi
know what
to
you
Jared.
like.
Even if you want to email, I have the email.
Whoa,
Just insult
speaks.
me. Like these fucking three.
I'm probably going to send emails from my personal email to our email just to insult you. I might make an anonymous email.
Oh my god, we can have a Kevin's Corner insult session from Robert Roth.
Insulted you once yet. That's a record.
No, you just couldn't have flipped me off and didn't speak the entire time.
Oh, at least I didn't say anything.
And with that, we are going to conclude again with another Retard Crew song. Retard Crew is... You can go to retardcrew.com, download all their music for free because they're retards. They also have a YouTube channel called The Retard Crew, all one word. And yeah, support them. They're great. Hopefully, I really got nothing. But we're going to end with a nice song called No Homo. To end our exquisite show. And with that, we are out of here. Hopefully I don't get a fucking ad. Got a fucking ad.
Well, no, everyone gets a fucking ad.
Right.
So it's okay.
I've been waiting for this game. Will you grab me a brew? Here, bro. I love this crew. No homo. Yankees are the best. No better team. Hey, man. I really like those jeans. No homo. Yeah, they're vintage. Did you text Mike? Of course I did. This is a boys' night. No homo. We are the biggest Yankee fans in the world. So glad it's just us guys and no girls. No homo. It's like the four of us haven't hung out in forever. I love it when we all get together. No homo. Hey, sweet hat. Thanks, it's brand new. I shopped all day yesterday. I had nothing to do. No homo. Mike's on his way. He stopped at the Shrimp Shack. Buzzers, bro. Tell him to come in the back. No homo. I want to get stoned. The weed I have is whack. Tell Mike I'll pay him if he grabs a sack. No homo. You drink beer so fast. Yeah, that's dope. You gotta train yourself to open your throat. No homo. How's your fantasy? The best guys, I got them. That's why I'm on top. And I'm the bottom. No homo. He was going for the ball, but he bit it. No homo. Look at that dude. He can hit it. No homo. This game is awesome. Pass the nuts. No homo. Derek Jeter is so cut. No homo. Takes care of his body. I respect him. No homo. Catchers really need all that protection. No homo. And he was in there, without a doubt. No homo. It's hard to tell if that guy's out. No homo. Commercial break. So much action. No homo. These guys give me so much satisfaction. No homo. You got the remote? Whip it out then. No homo. Don't touch it. I'm taping 2.5 Men. No homo. Sweet. No homo. It's back on. Hey, you didn't know homo right then. That's just wrong. You didn't do it. No homo. I do it all the time. No homo. Kinda sick of beer. Who wants wine? No homo?
Pass another beer, no homo.
Double play, no homo.
We're winning, no homo. Great day, no homo.
Comfy couch, no homo.
Feels good, no homo.
I love it, no homo.
You would, no homo.
I'm drunk, no homo.
Me too, no homo.
Gotta get up early, no homo.
You're screwed, no homo.
Me, no homo.
Yeah, no homo.
You, no homo. Please, no homo.
No homo.
No homo.
Who, no homo.
Jeez, no homo.
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 All right, goddammit, that's enough. I'm not gonna sit around with you guys and act all tough and say no homo after everything you say because I'm gay. I love men so much. Last night I got fisted by a stranger I Craigslisted. I want cock in my face, cock in my ear, cock in my ass, cock in my beard. Yes, I'm a queer. I love white cock and black cock, dry cock, sweaty cock, skinny cock, fat cock. I fantasize about each of your cocks on many occasions. When you guys went to Cabo, I was in this house raging with Javier, Pablo, Jeremy, and Bruce. I took gallons of man juice in my caboose. I did it in yours and yours and yours in your beds, so I could picture each of you while I gave each one of them head. I watched so much gay porn I messed up our modem with vids of deep throating and ass licking and scrotum. Gee, every time you put that bottle to your lips, I can't help but picture as my dick. So when you say, no homo, I feel like such a loner. So take a sip, and watch me get a boner. No homo. Wanna fuck?
What?
No homo.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's do this.